Water is both creative and destructive, a source of life and death. From the amniotic fluids of the prenatal experience to the nourishment it provides throughout life, it is essential to our existence. It is a primary element within the human body, coursing through our veins. On the other hand, death is often described as a crossing of the waters. In Greek mythology, the underworld is only reached by crossing the river Styx. Many of the world's myths attest to the destructive aspect of water, symbolized by storms and floods. Water is purifying, and it has rhythm and movement. It represents time and change. Crossing any water was often seen as a change in consciousness, and even an initiation. One such initiation associated with water is baptism. A true ritual baptism in water, though, is not the dedication ceremony we use today. It was an act prepared for in a meticulous manner, so that when finally enacted it would loosen the etheric web around the physical body and open one to true spiritual sight. It had a regenerating force that actually made one twice born. The world could now be seen in its true light. The spiritual forces operating through and around everything in the physical become as clear to sight as those of the physical realm. All the waters of life were considered mysterious. The great oceans and seas were older than anyone knew. They always changed, and yet they were always the same. Civilizations could come and go, but the great seas were always there. From the oceans and the great seas, we get life-sustaining foods, and yet many individuals have lost their lives in its depths. Water was always shifting, with no beginning and no end. In more ancient times, the magic of water had no bounds. It could estrange you from that which made you human, or it could bestow wisdom and spiritual sight. It could cure diseases, and it could even restore youth. In the Celtic tradition, there is the well of the world that could restore life to dead men. In the Arthurian sagas of the Celtic tradition, the Lady of the Lake gave Arthur the sword Excalibur. Water has a life of its own. It is a world in which many fantastic creatures and beings exist. These beings are still found within the water kingdoms, and they are not limited to only the undines. Water sprites, spirits, and nymphs can be found. Mermaids and mermen occasionally reveal themselves. The water fairies, and those beings often thought of as sea gods and goddesses, are more fact than fiction. The American Indians believe that the waters of lakes, rivers, and oceans are inhabited by a mysterious people, the Water Indians. Wherever there is a natural source of water, the water spirits can be found. Tiny water fairies can be seen flowing in the sprays of waterfalls. Water sprites can be seen riding the crests of waves in the ocean or on the backs of sea creatures. They can be seen dancing on the surface of bay and shore waters. Mermaids can occasionally be seen bobbing on the surface of the ocean. The water fairies of streams and lakes are not as numerous as those of the great oceans and rivers, but they can still be found. In Germany, the sprites of lakes and streams are called nixies, and stories are still surfacing of human encounters with them. Freshwater ponds are often a wonderful place to discover water fairies. There are qualities that are universally attributed to most water spirits and fairies. 1. Beauty is their keynote. This beauty is often reflected through feminine forms. This does not mean that there are no male water spirits, as there are mermen and such. Water, though, is so universally and archetypically feminine that this may be the most ideal or easiest form for them to appear. 2. They communicate through our emotions. 3. They are generally sweet and gentle. There have been many stories of beautiful water nymphs and mermaids who seduce and lead men to their doom or death. For example, the sirens of ancient Greece with their haunting songs to sailors.